1일 연휴 첫날 오늘 양수역을 좀 늦게 출발해서 갔다 와서 점심을 3시 넘어서 먹었습니다. 막걸리 종지기에 조금뿐이 안 남았는데 그거 좀 먹고 한숨 자고 또 오후 리추얼을 또 시작을 좀 하겠습니다. The art of thinking clearly. The point is small, surprisingly small. Monetary incentives crowd out other types of incentives. Cadet training. Cadets from the Korea Military Academy pose for a group photo after being trained on how to survive in the water at U.S. Army Base Camp Humphreys in Pyeongtaek, Gyeonggi Province on February 23rd as they prepare to take part in the Sandhurst Military Skills Competition, a military skills competition at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in New York in April. Love leadership. The new way to lead in a fear-based world. David knows the feeling of vulnerable. They cautioned that a deal being reached to freeze North Korea's nuclear weapons while allowing existing bombs to remain could inevitably lead to a nuclear arms race in the region. How not to marry the wrong guy. Is he the one or should you run? A guide to living happily ever after. Standing alone. Standing alone does not just mean living in your own apartment after college. The 3 rules for success. We studied 25,453 companies over 44 years to find what set them apart. Convinced how to prove your competence and win people over. Though particularly asymmetrical, asymmetrical faces are perceived as unattractive. Our tolerance of this feature is relatively high, as the right side of the face, on average, is larger than the left. check the meter. We are therefore accustomed to asymmetry. The Black Swan, mind-blowing, a masterpiece, hugely enjoyable, compelling. She dumped him. She dumped him, called a lawyer, who was by then expecting to hear from her, and saw more of narrow openly. Rapid problem solving with a post-it note. 6 problem solving tools. The simplest way to take Kipling's advice is to adopt a general questioning approach to problems. Love letters to a season I never loved when. Darkness falls early now, but I don't fight it. The demolition of a widow's carefully tended home, the endless delivery trucks circling the neighborhood, even the arthritis in my knees. At another time of year, I can find such irritants entirely demoralizing, but in winter I am filled with tenderness for the foolishness and broken for the contours of this tired land. College student, single mom. Oh my God, I leaned into a wall and slid down to the floor of the hallway. Selling when no one is buying, growing prospect clients and sales in top economic times. Administrative cost would be lower since there'd be only one contract to work on. Now build a great business. 7 ways to maximize your profit in any market. Be sure to tell the prospect how many people have already bought this product or service and are currently enjoying it. Ventral. Ventral. How one girl's dream made others come true. It has the opposite effect. Put your dream to the test. 10 questions to help you see it and seize it. Chapter 7, the cost question. Am I willing to pay the price? for my dream. Mentoring 101, what every leader needs to know. Once people trust their leader as a person, they become able to trust his leadership. The wisdom of a broken heart, an uncommon guide to healing, insight, and the love. She has pure, true competence. Her kin does not explain, nor does she complain. The health of the secret, over 2,000 wellness and nutrition tips for a happier, healthier you. Try sweet corn, rice, ginger, tomatoes, bananas, and barley. After receiving a 30-minute catch-up meeting invitation from a new manager last month, and who worked remotely as a project manager based in Salt Lake City, filmed a video about her day working from home, including choosing a coffee mug that said the world is falling apart around us and I'm dying inside. The art of talking to anyone, essential people skill for success in any situation. The mark of a good conversation is that every member of the company takes part in it, and that all discuss the same theme. Sweden brings more books, handwriting to tech-heavy schools. When it rains, it pours. You can work your own miracles. Once a man chooses a goal and creates the plans for attaining it, cosmic habit force will fix all his habits which are related to that goal, so that they automatically lead him in the direction of the goal. Nature's definite needs of purpose, the aids of the miracle of life. While his books were never chart toppers, most of them are still in print, according to Andrew, the author's son, who runs his estate. battled him of the tiger murder. Coco was incredibly fast and agile, fast and agile, and I could tell that she had real potential. Insight. Why we're not as self-aware as we think, and how seeing ourselves clearly help us succeed at work and in life. I turned him down, of course, she quickly added, but I thought you shouldn't know. Pour your heart into it. How Starbucks built a company, one cup at a time. Every entrepreneur dreams of building a public company. The 21 indispensable qualities of a leader: becoming the person others will want to follow. Osler usually limited his work to hospital, but because of the magnitude of the epidemic, he treated many patients in their homes. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The truth about the leadership, the no facts, heart of the matter, facts you need to know. What they say might be interesting, but how they act is always crucial. The collapse of the rule-based international order and the weakening of the West means a big crisis. Choose them wisely, so that become things. Act as if you already are whatever it is you used to want to become, and it shall be done. Believe it, I am anything I choose to be. So to become things. The joy of movement, how exercise helps us find happiness, hope, connection, and the courage. The juxtaposition between the beauty around her and what she had to endure to get there is deeply satisfying. However, recent effort by the Biden administration to cancel $430 billion of student loan debt was struck down by the Supreme Court as unconstitutional. America's higher education financing challenge. Food justice. Recognizing the need for a locally run member governed nonprofit. A new organization, ALBA, was established in 2000 and formally incorporated the next year. Plutocrats, the rise of the new global super rich and the fall of everyone else. Once it was up and running, the regulator was severely outgunned. Its annual budget was just a couple of days' revenue of the slim telephone businesses. Outgunned. The story forces us to see how anti-Semitism and racism are inextricably linked. Anti-Semitism. Start your own import-export business, your step-by-step guide to success. This is good, but as you continue to grow, sooner or later you'll find again that you can't do it all yourself. You'll need to hire another team member, an account supervisor to help recruit and service accounts. Land that looks to outsiders like the biggest buzzkill of the church calendar, but it becomes a season that some younger Christians actually look forward to. Infinite possibilities, the art of living your dreams. Infinite Possibilities is the perfect book at the perfect time. The starting point is not that you don't have any and you just want a little. It's that you have everything and you just want a little. Ghostwriters, luminaries. Make today count. The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda, and give them your friendship rather than asking for theirs. You get mad with yourself, then you get mad because you get mad with yourself. The Fire Starter Session, a soulful plus practical guide to creating success on your own terms. And in the back row, there was my friend Patsy in a Aileen Fisher black suit, wondering if I'd have anything relevant to say that she could apply to her 20 years in the hospitality industry. Sing your light, sing your light. Stop, consider your option, and rethink your direction. Revisit any health condition or physical concern and look for alternative ways to get your body and mind back on track. You are what you eat. You are. You are what you eat and the lifestyle you choose to live. Sacred submind power. Perhaps the best thought with which to leave this subject is Rudyard Kipling's "I had 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names were where and what and when and why and how and who. It cost nothing and can do you no harm to utilize the services of these same 6 honest serving men." Born digital, understanding the first generation of digital natives. This renovation happened to coincide with the dot-com era, in which students were jumping ship to start their own internet companies. The FDA sent a warning in 2021 and 2022 to 2 companies that is said were illegally marketing tianeptine products as dietary supplements and unapproved drugs. Now she speaks of a renaissance of Jewish identity in the United States, a diasporic chicken farm cure, Talmudic studies, and Judaism based on good works, including the securing of equal rights and protections for Palestinians. Finding your way in a wild new world, reclaim your true nature to create the life you want. You'll find that the more annoying or even devastating an adventure is to live, the better way finding tale it makes. Healthy aging, challenges and solution. The easy, almost universal availability of publicly financed nursing home benefits enables widespread public denial concerning long-term care risk. Not all morning commuters expressed support. The Korean way in business, understanding and dealing with the South Koreans in business. Again, this is recognized and acceptable behavior in a strictly Korean setting, but it is not an approach that foreigner manager in South Korea should use. Keep channels of communication open. The information you receive will require verification. Pay attention to your action. You will face the opposition if you are too aggressive or exaggerate. A frugal lifestyle will deter scammers from taking advantage of you. Put yourself at the first. A brief history of time. The idea of inflation could also explain why there is so much matter in the universe. Do what you want. The book that shows you how to create a career you love. Chapter 8, Step 3. From find the advert to create the advert. In a sentence or two, now you increasingly need to create the opportunity both externally and internally. Texas challenge to school drive, movement to shift funding to private education runs into hostility in rural areas. Thought through asset-based thinking. Change the way you see other people. Use your positive filters. Use your positive filters gain more traction. Asset-based thinkers learn how to reactivate the special instinctive positive filters that we are all born with. In other words, junkification has always been happening on the commercial web, whose largely advertising based business model seems to obligate an ever shifting race to the bottom. sisterly stripe, sisterly stripe. He has been sad ever since a call. He loves his mother and is manipulative. His word, sister, is really hurting him. I try my best to keep my thought to myself. Sisterly stripe. Winners never cheat. A self-made billionaire speaks out on honesty and the generosity. The ultimate payback is your success. My son is brilliant. My son is brilliant. With a genius IQ, he's also very loving when he's on his mad. Off his mess, he's a real menace and a threat to both my day-to-day peace of mind and my physical safety. But if I evicted him, he'll be homeless and destitute. Wicked success is inside every woman. Don't run over don't run over people on your way to wicked success. I live in what could almost be described as a pastoral setting. there is an unnerving stigma associated with mental illness in most societies. Chang continued. Unnerving. A relationship for a lifetime. Everything you need to know to create a love that lasts. Is there any pattern? Is there any pattern of abuse directed at previous partners? If Stewart is an old school American liberal, as opposed to left or progressive, he is also vulnerable to the old school critique of liberals that he's too broad-minded to take his own side in an argument. Broad-minded, old school. Mars and Venus on a Date, a guide for navigating the 5 stages of dating to create a loving and lasting relationship. If you want to be heard, don't ask him a question. Don't say, "Would you like to hear what I think?" Or, "Would you like to know how I feel?" How Koreans talk, a collection of expression. Koreans are upfront about the money. Rather than try to lift people up, he seems to be running on contempt. Strength finder. To fulfill this the inner drive. To fulfill this inner drive while maintaining a primary mentoring focus, consider the impact of being a mentor for the moment. When he looks at NATO, he doesn't see the alliance that protects America and the world. He sees a protection racket, Biden said. Racket. How today's biggest trends will collide and reshape the future of everything. The middle class in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa will outnumber the middle class in the United States and Europe combined. outnumbered. Influence, science, and practice. I had one guy call and tell me that if it snowed over Christmas, I wouldn't live to see New Year's, said Bob, who has been the forecaster at WTHR-TV in Indianapolis for 9 years. In that regard, the analyst anticipated that Trump is unlikely to scale back the Biden administration's strengthened commitment to extended deterrence for South Korea. Tax for the dummies. Make tax-efficient investment. Fulfill your legal obligation. Work out your business taxes. Fill out a self-assessment form. Understand your tax status. Take the headache out of tax with this essential guide. Tax is something that no one can escape, but paying your taxes needn't be taxing. One of the companies that Woohoo had supported is Vega, a software developed in Serbia. Limitless mind. Learn, lead, and live without the barriers. Whoever made a difference, whoever made a difference by being like everyone else, Jesus calling, 365 devotion for kids. There is no problem that can keep me away from you, the God who forgives. Psalm chapter 139. Where can I go to get away from your spirit? I did not come to earth to judge you and condemn you. I came to make you free. Share your enthusiasm. Share your enthusiasm. Contributions will spark your imagination and encourage you to expand your awareness and plans regarding the balance between home and work. Finding the sweet spot that taps into your mindset will lead to opportunity and happiness. Follow through. Sweet spot. You are a badass. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. We've not only made a habit out of smearing our fear and worry and doubt all over each other, but we pat ourselves on the back for it because we believe that it shows how much we care. Park Chung-hee, From Poverty to Power, urged Park to join him in the South Korean uh, constabulary, un-American prayer, the book. Hear us, O Lord, hear us, O Lord, our strength, our strength. In these our prayers for Jesus Christ, his sake. Amen. The wisdom and the teachings of Covey. The transactional approach. The transactional approach to conflict is all about the me. How do I get what I want with the least possible damage? The transformational approach to conflict is all about the we. How do we create something amazing together? The art of influence, persuading others, begins with you. It certainly helped that he had a great baseball mind, but it was impossible to find a person who had a bad word to say about him, and that served as the basis for his reputation. Golden rule of influence number 2. Always demonstrate a positive attitude. Tell you a story. Think of the egg set as a supporting actor, the gentleman who opens the door for other flavors. What great CEOs do differently, the behaviors that set the best leaders apart. Neurodiversity as a competitive advantage. From top executives and general managers to high potential leaders and business owners, each comprehensive leadership program delivers a transformative HBS experience. How to create a culture of excellence, designing high-performance jobs, how great companies think differently, leadership that gets the results, 5 habits of highly successful companies. A commitment to promote from within is meaningless unless the company offers training and development that can prepare employees for new jobs in the company and create conditions that encourage employees to enroll rather than penalize them for taking time away from their jobs. No ordinary disruption. The 4 global forces breaking all the trends. More than 2/3 of companies are struggling against limited or no capabilities in data analytic techniques. You being beautiful, the owner's manual to inner and outer beauty. strengthen your neck. Headache, pain, headache, pain can come from weakness or spasms of the neck muscle. You feel the pain in your upper back and it goes to lower your neck, then upper neck as progressively weak muscle compensate for too much computer or bridge time. 6 steps to college success. Learning strategy for STEM students. STEM. Chiefly motor. A few proprioceptive somatic. When I get tired of reading, when I get tired of reading and note making, I switch to reading or self-testing. To be leader in American fashion, a designer need a signature. Thanks, Dad. One-on-one stories of gratitude, love, and good times. For so long, my social circle had consisted of my husband's co-workers, their wives, and other young mothers in the neighborhood. This overall lack of leadership and coordination almost buried some recent good news. Getting started in real estate investing. Example, you estimate the following about your real estate investment. Rent income is $1,200 per month. Change rules in your favor. It's not always a good thing, but I believe by letting my body wake me up at a natural time over 5,000 times since becoming a full-time entrepreneur has had an extremely positive effect on my health and my productivity. Living in South Korea. Education. Despite significant political and economic turmoil, Korea's educational system survived and in some respect is quite admirable. Empowered through the strength of his devotion, a husband's promise helps overcome a brush with sexual aggression. I recount this story proudly. A man pinned me to my bed. He might have raped me. I took up martial art. Leading matters. Lessons from my journey. We lacked a high-quality performance space. Our museums weren't comparable, and the arts practice components of our departments were small. Our daily bread. Linda exemplifies The teaching of the Apostle Peter, despite her trials, despite her trials, she rejoiced, and the genuineness of her faith brings praise, honor, and glory to Jesus Christ. What doctors don't tell you, the truth about the danger of modern medicine. Drugs for heart disease, the beta blocker, calcium channel blocker combination has also become very popular for patients with coronary artery disease. The Luger, the small and medium-sized tournament competition in places like Dallas, Basel, and Buenos Aires are going to have a hard time swallowing the prospect of relegation to the minor leagues. A passion for success, practical, inspirational, and spiritual insight from Japan's leading entrepreneur. It is particularly important in a challenging economic climate to run a business according to the simplest formula, that is, optimizing profit by maximizing revenues and minimizing expenses. The money class, life-changing financial lesson, how to stand in your truth and create the future you deserve. Include stock mutual funds in your retirement portfolio. The first principles, 5 keys to restoring America's prosperity. In the past few years, politicians have responded to that clamoring, and at times even started up. Releasing kings for ministry in the marketplace. They are now 55. They may or may not get the house paid off before they retire to live on a pension and Social Security. I declare 31 promises to speak over your life. God says that to each one of us. Is there anything too hard for me? Do you think that your dreams are too big for God to bring to pass? Do you think your relationship is too far gone for God to restore? Do you think you just have to live with that sickness the rest of your life? Now, get a new vision today. Put on a new attitude. God is saying, I am all powerful. I can turn any situation around. It doesn't matter what it looks like in the natural world. He's a supernatural God. great day every day, navigating life's challenges with, with the promise and the purpose. With the promise and the purpose. If today were your last, would you do what you are doing? 1001 invention that changes the world. The ballistic missile is intriguing because it can be both of these things. It has made possible some of the greatest deeds mankind has ever achieved, and also some of the worst. Quit like a millionaire. No gimmicks, luck, or trust fund that are required. Your backup plan is to use the cash cushion and the yield shield. Originals. How non-conformists move the world. You gain believability by other believable people saying you are believable. Have you ever been tempted to turn from the message of the gospel, or to add to, delete, or alter portions of it to make it conveniently fit your life? Third place, they do, is titled writing and exciting narrative with just enough philosophical digression to make the piece not solely about 1920 Kenya, the wilderness, quietly. Loved by all and love all. Do you get those mixed up sometimes? Why or why not? One might lay down your life for a friend look like today. Loving God, please help me to love as you love me. Life is tremendous. Do you want to be happy, productive, healthy, and secure? Enthusiasm makes the difference. I also wanted to prepare him for the professor who might try to prove God unnecessary. The big reveal after 20 years is just the tip of the iceberg. I believe, experience him, share him. He heals the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds. Psalm chapter 147. What's next? Follow your passion and find your dream job. You have to trust the coach and feel comfortable laying it all before him or her. This is scary stuff, and you need a steady hand to hold from time to time. Too busy not to pray, Too busy not to pray. Then comes the warm-up sermon. in the 3 years since the murder of George Floyd, whose death in police custody ignited a national movement against police brutality. Prosecutors have charged the police and emergency medical workers in a number of high-profile cases. That's just the way films have desire to be part of a community, because, unfortunately, what capitalism defines as success calls for something like desolation in a way, and that doesn't allow for a very important part of the creative process, the cycle of decomposition and growing into other things. That desolation. Hoodwinked. An economic hitman reveals why the world financial market imploded and what we need to do to remake them. Then I have to believe I can do it. How China lost faith in real estate investment. The forced liquidation of Evergrande underlines the sector's downturn. The evangelist marketing, what Apple, Amazon, and Netflix understand about their customers that your company probably doesn't. 7. Everything begins with consumer insight. One simple idea. It is also wise to consult with the industry experts and a mentor if you are fortunate enough to have access to either, a necessary precaution when sharing your idea. Harvard Business Review Manager's Handbook. The 17 skills leaders need to stand out. Enhancing teams' creativity is a goal-oriented, collaborative process that draws on each team member's skills, experience, and expertise. 50 high-impact speeches and remarks, proven words you can adapt for any business occasion. The greatest speeches from the greatest leaders. In fact, the controversy that is swirling around us today can be laid squarely on my misjudgment in communicating the facts about our company's executive retention program. Again, takes the responsibility, misjudgment. The league's contribution is a small fraction of what gambling companies pay to be part of the NFL's marketing apparatus, but it is the largest grant in the council's history and exceeded the non-profit's grant total over the previous 4 years, according to tax filings. The grip of the club, the secret to getting through all kind of change. I felt a joyous bond with all the people I encountered and the sculptor which so brilliantly shaped me. The drop. Early October, windy, cool, clear blue sky. Getting things done, the art of stress-free productivity. Let's say it's 10:20 a.m. Monday, and you are in your office. The art of talking to anyone, essential people skill for success in any situation. Up here in the hills, you hardly ever get down to business right off. First, you say your howdies, and then you talk about anything else. But when you come poor, and finally, when mosquitoes start to bite, you say what's on your mind, when you always edge into it not to offend. Howdies. American roots, readings on U.S. cultural history. A road system barely existed and basically had to be built from scratch. Built to serve. This book inspires your spirit. The United Supermarkets model, taught in a most excellent and successful way how to drive the bottom line with the people first practice. I'll do it, coach, I said with confidence. The 10 Commandments for business failure. We couldn't seem to get everyone around the world on the same marketing page, committed to the same overall goals. Marketing, Technology for Humanity. Chapter 8, Data-Driven Marketing, building a data ecosystem for better targeting. A year before the event, Target had built an algorithm to predict the likelihood that a woman shopper was pregnant according to the items she bought. How high will you climb? Determine your success by cultivating the right attitudes, the opportunities around you. Once you have made the choice to change your attitudes, you are ready to allow the opportunities around you to make this decision a success. 100 Simple Secrets of Great Relationship. And yet the truth of the matter is, the irony of all this is, we aren't any different from any other couple. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Dynamic techniques for turning fear, indecision, and anger into power, action, and love. Not only is Nancy's greed filled with nourishment and aliveness, but the entire area of her life seems to have increased, which in effect gives her more for her money. How to make people like you in 90 seconds. Make instant, meaningful connection for interviewing, selling, managing, pitching. If the answer is no, follow with what don't you like about the end. The second mountain, the quest for a moral life. The first thing our professors did was teach us intellectual courage. The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself. read, read this book carefully, and you will get more than a glimpse of eternity. They are the outmost layer of cause. These urges are the reason you smoke. But the whole world doesn't have to fall apart in order for us to see what we are doing in there.